Two people walk out of the exact same theater, having watched the exact same film. One gives it 5 stars and calls it a masterpiece. The other gives it 1 star and demands a refund. This infographic breaks down the two people, one movie phenomenon. Most audiences judge a film entirely on subjective preferences. Viewer A loved the movie because it featured their favorite actor, while viewer B hated it because they actively dislike science fiction. Look at this Venn diagram mapping the overlap between art and entertainment. It highlights how we often consume films purely for escapism and fun on the right side. The left side reminds us that movies are also deliberate, carefully constructed creative expressions. A professional critic approaches the screen differently. Instead of simply stating their emotional reaction, they deconstruct exactly why the director's choices triggered those specific feelings. This table outlines a critic's cognitive process. They actively separate objective facts and visual observations from personal opinions. Then they bridge the gap by requiring concrete evidence from the film to support any judgment they make. A 5-star rating is an evidence-based conclusion that a film successfully fired on all collaborative and artistic cylinders. It relies on observable craft, rather than an accident of personal taste. To understand how this works, we must look at the anatomy of the movie itself. The first stars of any review are earned before a camera even rolls, right on the script page. This guide shows critics track central conflict and theme, but tight scripts fail if actors cannot make emotions real. Panning down to the power of acting, critics value subtle choices over loud monologues. Evaluating purely physical, nonverbal acting has been a cornerstone of film critique since the very beginning of cinema. Story and acting form the foundation. If the audience does not believe the characters, no amount of technical wizardry will save the film's rating. Once the foundation is set, critics analyze the sensory layer. Here, the director uses the lens of the camera and the highly sensitive microphone to subconsciously manipulate the viewer's emotional state. Notice the "What did you see?" panel. Critics evaluate how a close-up forces intimacy or a wide shot isolates a character. Moving to the "What did you hear?" section, critics separate swelling musical scores from environmental Foley sound effects. Try a simple critics test. Imagine your favorite, most tension-filled movie scene and completely strip away all the music and sound effects. The underlying reliance on audio becomes instantly obvious. Critics had to adapt to an entirely new dimension of analysis when synchronized sound was first injected into cinema in the late 1920s. The greatest films weaponize this combination of cinematography and sound design so effectively that the audience never realizes their emotions are being engineered. The final analytical layer is the physical environment, the meticulous aesthetic details building a believable universe. This breakdown highlights how critics look for deep intentionality in world building. They examine the color palettes and costume designs to see if they actively reinforce the movie's mood, rather than merely looking visually pleasing. Then comes the evaluation of special effects. Today, we are accustomed to digital spectacles, but critics must still weigh the use of modern CGI against the tactile reality of physical, practical effects. For decades, building a convincing alien world or an exploding volcano required intensive manual labor, crafting miniature sets by hand long before computers could generate them. Looking back at the special effects film strip, the modern critic faces a specific dilemma: distinguishing between digital imagery that seamlessly enhances the narrative versus CGI that acts as a weightless distraction. Visual design elevates a movie to a masterpiece only when it sits entirely in service to the core narrative, without ever overshadowing the characters. A 5-star rating occurs precisely when these technical elements, story, acting, cinematography, audio, and visual design, lock into perfect alignment to explore a central theme. This chart outlines how that massive alignment translates onto the page. A professional review balances a summary with a deep structural analysis. As the Use Evidence icon highlights, there is an absolute golden rule. Every opinion must be tethered to a specific observable moment. You have the tools to actively dissect a film's creation, pulling apart the layers of craft to see exactly how the spell was cast. The next time you sit in the dark, you enter the theater equipped to see the invisible machinery of the art. You are ready to decide for yourself exactly how many stars the movie truly earned.